boyka. I still haven't gotten my microphone, but I got my headset with mic. Well, I'd like to say what up, Rahul back. Beautiful day, beautiful solar day. My boyka, Taino, Tina, Tiaono, to my sisters and brothers. Bienvenido, welcome again. Greetings to you all. Tarefa Rukar. Thank you for watching, my brother. Watching for what? Thank you. Okay. One of my elders here, Remasu, Amore, all the best to you. I love you.
Passing through the gates, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic self when the bell of our ancestors is felt. Passing through the gates, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic self when the bell of our ancestors is felt. Passing through the gates, we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic self when the bell of our ancestors is felt.
My boyka. What up? Ahlan wa sahlan. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. All those great greetings, bienvenidos. Here I am just sitting back enjoying my Sunday. I got my, we call this Maa'gic. I made it from scratch. I told the story to my son how my grandmother, Encarnacion, we used to call her Mama, in Arroyo, Puerto Rico, used to sit in the balcony and take the tamarind, crack the shells, take the meat, and the seeds. I got a bunch of seeds here that I want to make some jewelry out of, like the Tainos did. And she used to make the Maa'gic, you know what I'm saying? She used to soak the meat of the tamarind in water, soak it for a day or so, then take that, and back then I use a blender, but they used to crush it, crush it, you know what I'm saying? Get that juice out, and then take that, put it under the sun for a couple of days, ferment it, so you got Maa'gic. So I did it. I think I needed one more day of fermenting. It's not as strong, but it's like a natural wine, fermented tamarind, and it's good for you. And this is probably the only cup I'm gonna have because I don't want to get too lit out here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking the issues. Tamarind has a lot of nice property too. Oh yeah, I could taste the alcohol in there. Oh, if the fermentation. Oh yeah, let's go at it. Now, just want to let everybody know that I'm thinking about restructuring my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So that I can expand a little more, and so my YouTube channel, I'm going to rename it True Culture Maa'gic. True Culture Maa'gic. Maa'gic, we're going to define some of that stuff. But true, again, true is truth. What's true? The truth of a culture, the true culture. It's been practiced, again, truth for the definition in natural nature. We can define it. I can bring up what truth is, and I will do that in a few seconds because I really want to define these terms so that we don't have any misconception of whatsoever, and you can see where I'm heading to, and we can walk together in this. Anybody that wants to come on, are more welcome. I should let me let me put the shoot, how do I do this? I want to put the link up here. I want to put the link. Give me 1 second here, y'all. I want to put the link. The reason why I want to put the link because I want to let me see. How do I do that? How do I do that? Where's my page? My channel. Here's my channel. I am live. Let me bring that down. I am live. Let's see. It's now playing. I'm trying to bring it. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Here's the chat. I'm going to place the link on the chat. And if anybody wants to come in, and they're most welcome to come in. You know what I'm saying? And build a little. Your camera must be on, y'all. Your camera must be on, please. Your camera must be on. Just for the moment, so I can just see who you are, and then from there on, and then you can come off the camera. You know? Okay. So let's keep it. So that should show up there. Yes, it is. That's the link. Anybody want to come in and build a little bit? We're building about true culture Maa'gic, right? And then we're going to go into the communication. And like I said, I'm learning also. I'm learning, so I'm not. You know what I'm saying? We're spiritual masters. I got a lot of like my Mugdal, my elders, and a lot of us have mastered or know the art of inspiring people, and we're going to speak about that and what a true master is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us been groomed like that, you know, and you master things by experience, experimentation, right, and heavy study. So there goes the link. I don't have my phone here with me. I don't know where it's at, my second phone. So, but you could come on. You don't have to show you show your face, definitely, real quickly. Or if you do come on and I know you by your voice, I know who you are. But if I never heard your voice before and I don't know who you are and you want to come in and chime in a little bit, you definitely have to turn in that camera. Real briefly, let me, you know, as I let you in, and if I see that there's some crazy stuff going on, I'm gonna exit you real quickly, okay? So let's get started here. That track you hear in the background, YouTube, StreamYard now, you're able to download your own tracks. That's one of the tracks I did, is a drill music track that I did, and my son spit on it. It's very nice, you know. I'm working with my son as far as content, you know what I'm saying? These youth now, man, only want to talk about, you know, the punani and violence and stuff like that. And my son is not a street dude like that. I took him out of that, you know what I'm saying? I took him out of the streets, and he's a real good dude, you know, very good man, you know what I'm saying? And he's becoming, you know, he's listening to a lot of drill music, a lot of what they call plug music, but the content is not there. So I gave him a couple of books. I gave them the first book that well, when they were young, I taught them. I gave them the lessons. Every Sunday they would have to sit down with me for a couple of hours. And I went from doctrine, and I gave them the doctrine. They know the doctrine. Even my daughters are, 34, 35 years old, something. Yeah, 36 to 35 years old. I used to sit them down on a Sunday and give them Quranic lessons. You know what I'm saying? And mysticism and Quranic lessons. And my sons also. And then my sons we went into the nature at the school at the time that I was studying, you know, and expanding my knowledge, experimentation, expanding my knowledge and stuff like that. You know, I included my son on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? What I learned, I shared it with them. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Remember, you know, when I was 17 years old, 1979, 17 years old, you know, I walked into the Ansar Law and we were out there and the stuff that I was learning at the time, personally from Patna Bayanan, and I would go out there in the street, you know, and also stuff that I knew intuitive, you know what I'm saying, and stuff that I read and inspiring. Since I was 17 years old, inspiring. But it takes a long time to master that. there's certain, ways. What I learned now is you cannot give too much of a steep gradient. It has to be at a time, little by little. You got to build the communication, the knowledge up little by little. You can't give people too much. Panaba Yanani used to say, it's like being in the dark, or somebody just open up the door and all that light hit you and blind you. It will blind you. So we definitely, that's one of the wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and one of the instructions. And so, the first book that I gave my son to read was an Infidishi book about Mentuhotep, because it has nice stories in there, warrior stories. It's nice, Nile Valley stories. It's a very good book for him to at least, because as growing up, 17 years old, in the Ansar community, I read the book Hadra Ali. Man, I was captivated by that, because we read the Ratib, right? The Unshakable Truth, the Ratib, Unshakable, and we read a lot of books. So one of the books I came across was Hadra Ali. You know how when he was young, he carried this big sword, and at a very young age, he was already chopping the disbelievers, that they call it. He was already chopping, he was already in the war. You know what I'm saying? Fought those wars, and that was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his nephew, Hadra Ali. That is the vein, the Sicily. That's the vein that created the House of Hadith, that also spread into the Mali Empire and came into the Western Hemisphere. So a lot of us have that genetics in us from the Idris dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Remember, that's 2,000 ships. There may be different houses, sponsor ships and travel. This is traveling across. So I read that book, and it was just so captivating. It really took my imagination somewhere, and it was like a movie. I can actually see this. That's why when I watched a couple of movies dealing with warriors and movies, some type of movie, I kind of like, wow, man, there's so much they could go into. It for short, because I read the books that were so immense when it came to that. So that's another book that I want my son to read. I'm gonna find it. This Hadra Ali, that book. I forgot who was the author, and I want him to read that. I think that's very important for our children to read books that inspires them, their character, their morals, their personalities, their values, because in those books you see values. I like in Fidishi, that book, Mentuhotep book, because it also, mentions these values. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. These values and these principles in there that are from the Nile Valley. Bring a little more of it. So, let me see something. So we look at true. Let me bring up the dictionary. Well, true is let's see. Let's see what the dictionary says. Because in order to communicate, we got to establish a certain reality, right? Let me see. True. True is an objective, right? Truer or truest, in accordance with fact or reality, right? Rightly or strictly so-called genuine. When something is genuine, it is true because it's genuine, right? Ungenuine, the opposite would be what they call pseudo. That a lot of people pseudo, but why? Because it's not true. It's not actual, right? Now we're going to find out why it's not actual and how can we determine if something's actual or not. So it's conceding to a point in argument or discussion. So when you have a discussion with somebody in an argument and you concede, you come to the agreement that creates a reality, a truth about something. So true, accurate, or exactly in tune. When something is in tune, right? In music, like in tune, when something is in tune, it's true to the key. But if it's not in tune, you say that's off tune. That's not in tune. That's not, there's something wrong there. It doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? Some people have an ear so they can hear that. You know what I'm saying? Measure relative to truth north. Okay, that's to deal with the compass. True is true north. Correctly positioned, balanced, aligned, upright, and level. When something becomes level, it becomes upright. It aligns itself, balance, it positions itself. Positive means to position yourself is true. Loyal and faithful, like a true person is a loyal and faithful person. They conform to a standard, an expectation. When you say you have an expectation, you have a standard to live by. When someone aligns himself with that standard, that's a true person. It's a true friend, right? Honest. And that's using it as an adjective and as an adverb, truly, accurately, or without variation. It just stays there. In nature science, truth, it's all the pieces of a puzzle fitting perfectly together. What does that mean? That means that if, let's say, when we want to find the truth about evolution, right? About the origination of man, the truth about the original state of man. Well, to find the truth, you go into different pieces. You can go into anthropology. You can go into archaeology. Now, what you find in anthropology has to line up with what you find in archaeology. Also, you can go into linguistics. It has to line up linguistically. You can go to all these different applied sciences and find those pieces and it fits perfectly together. You can go into agriculture, the migration of people, sociology, the social status, society that's created, right? To find the true origin of something, true origin of man. You can go into many different applied sciences, archaeology, anthropology, even philosophy, psychology, and find a piece in there that is aligned with that fact. That's truth. If it doesn't add up and it doesn't align, it's falsehood. Falsehood would be the opposite. It negates that position, what they call negative. And I'm not saying negative is false and positive, you know what I'm saying? But in that sense of, for the sake of conversation, in that sense of following that thread of thinking. Position means to position yourself, negative means to negate it, right? So when something doesn't align itself, you know, you have a premise, the origination of man. Then you go into archaeology. You can't find, that's the reason why in debates, and there are people out there that you will have a conversation about the origination of man or Christian, whatever, but then they'll take into archaeology and just give you, when you go into the archaeology, you have to find your premise. You have to find your truth within that applied science. Sometimes, if they know that you cannot do that, they become ingenuine. They'll give you a lot of pseudo stuff and negate the point that solidify your point. There's people that can do that. So it's up to you. The burden of proof is up to you to go into also those applied sciences and see how all of this aligns. And remember, even it has aligned and how it doesn't align. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for you to tell a lie, you got to know the truth. And truth, when it comes factualized, becomes lies. So you got to know both. That's why, you know, I've learned every day things that I said, and then I learn every day. And I always try to find out things that I don't know and try to find also stuff that doesn't align so that I know the truth, that does not align. It doesn't align with my premise. Is that beneficial for my values and principles? You know what I'm saying? So that's when you deal with truth and truth. Right? Now let's look at culture. Culture, a prefix and a suffix. I will break that down, but first let's look at the dictionary. Right? The dictionary, let me look at it. The dictionary definition of culture. And see what that says. Now, culture is a noun. The arts. Culture as a noun is the arts and other manifestation of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. The arts and other manifestations. That's culture in terms of the dictionary. right? Human intellectual achievement, right? The customs, culture as a noun, the customs, the arts, the social institutions, and the achievement of a particular nation. That's the culture. The achievement that that nation has acquired creates their culture, and we're gonna expound on that further. People and other social group, right? The cultivation of bacteria, that's culture also when you deal with biology. And a noun in biology, culture is the cultivation of bacteria, tissue cells, and an artificial medium containing nutrients, right? A preparation of cells obtained from a culture, okay? Now, as a verb with object in biology, it means maintain the tissue in conditions suitable for growth. Now, I want you to look at the words, conditions suitable for growth, right? Now, the origin of the word culture, the noun from culture is directly from Latin cultura, growing, cultivation, the verb for absolute French culture, and medieval Latin culturare, both based on Latin colere, means to tend or to cultivate. I'm looking at that word, cultivate. In late Middle English, the sense was cultivation of the soil, and from this, cultivation of the soil. Now arose civilization of the mind, facility, and manners. Okay, this is dated in the 19th century. So, now, in nature science, in linguistic etymology and linguistics, and breaking things down, we see the word culture. Let me write here. Hold on one second. Let me put this. You can do it like this. Yeah. Let me do this. Look at this. Culture. Cultivating. Or I could have wrote it cult differently. Hold on a second. Let me take that out. Let me write this differently. Be a little more. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Culture. Now, that's the wrong one, right? Shit. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. Save this. Okay, here we go. Cult, ure, right? Culture. Prefix, suffix. Cult, the prefix for the word cultivate. We already read in the dictionary. It means cultivate, to cultivate, cultivation, right? Soil, condition, right? Chur, from nature, to cultivate nature. Now, what is nature? The conditions, right? Nature, the suns, all the suns creates a condition. Those electromagnetic forces create conditions on Earth, create conditions for the human body, the etheric body, which we'll go in later on. These conditions that it postulates, creates. So culture, the cultivating of a condition, the cultivating of a nature. So the true culture, the true way of cultivating, the alignment, the way to align this act of cultivating conditions. It's like thinking like a scientist, okay? True culture is the alignment, the positioning, the alignment, the putting together, the cultivation, the act of cultivating conditions, okay? That's that breakdown. True culture. Now we look at Maa'gic. Why did I use the word Maa'gic? Well, like Ma'at, or the Ma'at Federation, the hunter-gatherers that came from the Egg Island, all the Nubans, the Twa people, what they call the Pata people, the Ta people, with the Twa people, and the Khoisan. These hunter-gatherers were hunters. They weren't agriculturists till later on. They were hunters. They had the wooden arrows, and they made bows, right, with the gut of the animal and made bows, wood, and were hunter-gatherers even with spears. These hunter-gatherers was from the Ma'a Federation. It was called the Ma'a, because these were what's called the Fish Federation. Those coming out of the water, the womb of the waters of earth. The waters of earth. We're going to go into that. We're going to expound on that when we go into the Ma'a Federation. But that's just to give you a little clue of what Ma'a is, right? Fish Federation, the Ma'a Federation, the Maa'gic. Their ways, the true way that they cultivated the conditions when it came to the Ma'a Federation at that time. But we're going back in time, but at the same time, we're using those principles for this day and time. Today is known as the African Kingdom Federation, or the African Royal Kingdom, in which I'm a crown ambassador. We'll speak about that later on, and we'll touch upon that, right? So, true culture, Maa'gic. Now, magic, right? If we let's define the word magic, because again, I've just broken to you down in that sense, but let's look at the word magic. What is magic? Magic is a noun. Power of apparently influence the course of events by using mysterious and supernatural forces. It's only mysterious and supernatural forces because you're not aware of it. Okay? It's unseen powers that we're able to squeeze out. Formless powers caught up in a vacuum that we're able to squeeze out. Mysterious tricks, such as making things disappear, appear again. Magic. Perform as entertainment. They use it as entertainment. A quality that makes something seem removed from everyday life, especially in the way that gives delight. Magic, right? Something that has the delightfully unusual quality, right? And that's today, by the standards of today, what magic is today. But we're talking about true culture, Maa'gic, again, is the powers of extracting from the unseen, from the subsisting world, the unseen, formless, and making it form, so you can influence the course of events, right? It's mysterious. My story is mysterious, and it's supernatural forces because it's not known. That's the reason why I'm very careful with a lot of people that say Kemetic priests and all that. A lot of the stuff when you go into the ancient science, especially in Kemet, that marketplace, or the Nile Valley, were to be kept secret. Secret. Okay? Wasn't for everyone. The reason why those sacred glyphs was created was to hide certain secrets in there. And if you're not initiated in these arcane traditions, these secret, sacred traditions, you're not going to be able to, in other words, you're not going to be able to align yourself with those glyphs. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to fall short. You know? Now, the reason why I picked, so this is true culture, right? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see who's up here. Alex, Rahuba Maestro. He said Rahuba Maestro. Hansu, love you, man. I got the book. Actually, my brother, I love the fact that he engages, you know what I'm saying? He's very, very appreciative, and he engages in things. And very knowledgeable, and he sent me a book, and I'm about to read it, and I got it here. It's called Spiritual Nutrition, and we're gonna go into this once I start reading it, and we go into it. Maybe I want to probably start a book club, and maybe have Alice comes on, and we can speak about this thing, or maybe on the phone or whatever, and we can discuss certain things. I'm still reading I'm almost finishing this book here. He sent me a few books, man. I'm very appreciative. I have to definitely get back at him. You know what I'm saying? Right now, all I can do is I can share a lot of my experiences. You know what I'm saying? And this book right here by Prince Yorubay, Salmagundi, very powerful. This book goes into the whole Moorish paradigm and the whole Moorish school. Very great information on there. Definitely recommend it reading. And I'm almost finished. I'm actually 3/4 of the way with that book. Then to start on the other book. I read a couple of books at the same time. And I'm definitely getting my library. And thanks to Hansu, helping me put some really good books in my library in the content. I got other books in here. I got books by Stephen Hawkins, who deals with time. I got a few other books here. Got some great books here. Yeah, Alex, you are so appreciative, my brother. So appreciative. It's great when you find somebody you align yourself with. That's true culture magic. You align yourself with certain people that wants to grow and also contribute, because like I said, I know what I know, but I seek to know what I don't know. And I always seek to see other people's perspective, what they're reading, and get that and align myself with that. Those are true friends. Those are not, and I would say friends, those are true kinfolks that you can engage in communication. We speak a lot, and you share information back and forth as to grow. That is the doorway. Papaut expansion is to grow. You know what I'm saying? So what else? Now, in true culture, Maa'gic is going to be now what I'm going to focus. Going to be the name of this podcast. I will see if I can have a set date and a set time where I can come on consistently, and those that want to be part of this. It's a true culture multiversity, true culture Maa'gic. We're able now, again, to squeeze out from this vacuum, from things that subsist, formless, squeeze out these ideas and concepts, even feelings and etheric energy, emotions, squeeze that out and form it so that we can apply this to our life. Now, this is, you got many different technology, electronic, all the technology. You have human technology. They don't, and they teach this at the university level also. Human technology is the technology, the technical things that we as humans, that scientists look and they see this etheric body, they see this light waves, Circadian photography. They see that there's another existence that we have. And sometimes we become disconnected. Our physical body becomes not disconnected, but it becomes stretched, and we lose sight of our etheric, the energy. Reason why people wake up with so low energy is it's being stretched out. The thing is to look at your etheric body and bring that into your physical body so it can, again, manifest that energy. So we look this true culture Maa'gic is combining both. The Maa'gic part is we're looking at the energy that we inherit through genetics, on and on, and those ancient, those qualities, principles that we inherited on this earth. This energy that we're primordial beings inhibiting this body. So this energy body, and a lot of times it becomes disconnected. Well, how do we strengthen this etheric body? How do we strengthen that? And the etheric body involves a lot. And now we're speaking about the energy that we have to vocalize things, to communicate. Yep. Some of our ancient masters, like, for instance, in the writings of Tahuti, what they call Thoth or Hermes, and some ancient writings that they have found, and some philosophy that had, through time, oral traditions has been passed down, spoke about this, spoke about it, about communication, reporting, scribing, where they're getting these ideas and concepts they're able to scribe or to communicate. It's they're going from to formless form and again aligning it with truth. And then you cultivate that condition. That's Maa'gic. That's taking something from the unseen, formless, and making it form. I hope I'm not getting so deep in here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of this I wanted to save it for the Patreon, but I figured that with this revamp, with this new direction, not a renewed direction I want to go into, to make it more broad and also to make it more beneficial. You know what I'm saying? True culture, Maa'gic. Okay. Now, many times we hear the word spiritual. And a lot of people have many different misconceptions of what is spiritual. Let's look at the definition of spiritual according to the English dictionary. Remember, this is according to the English dictionary, but everybody carries their own definitions. But a lot of times we have to, in order to communicate efficiently, we have to establish that affinity, that likeness. But in order to do that, to expand that likeness, you have to establish a genuine reality, right? According to the English dictionary, and I won't share it, I'll just read it to you. It's an adjective. First, when used as an adjective, it also could be a noun, but we're going to use this as an adjective. It's relating to or affecting the human spirit. And what is spirit? We're going to go into that. Or soul, as opposed to material physical things. It's affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to physical things. So it's opposed physical things. So we're talking about metaphysical things or non-material things, or what we call a supermaterial thing or subsisting. Now, they also say relating to religion and religious belief, like tribes, spiritual leaders. Okay, we're going to look about, so we're going to understand. As a noun, like as a Negro spiritual, is a religious song, kind of associated with Black Christians of the southern part of U.S., thought to derive from a combination of European hymns and African musical elements by Black slaves. Okay, the Negro spiritual that you find in church, again, is a combination of European hymns, European, and African musical elements. Okay, it also could be used as an adjective. I'm trying to look at the origin of it and music. Okay, now in breaking down the word spiritual, and you see the word ritual. But before I do that, let me look at this here. Here, spiritual, you see the word spirit. Spirit. When you spur or stir something, you spur it or you stir it, right? You give it what? Movement. You stir things up. A spiritual person stir things up, right? Right? Does it what? Does it ritually. They call that spirit cooking. Ritually. That's the science of our spirituality, what it is. You see this in churches. You see this in many different religions. You know what I'm saying? Even in Kemet, they spur things up. They cook it up. That's the spiritual is. And they do this ritually. And when they do it ritually, they create their religion. It's based on that ritual. When you go to a Catholic church, there's certain rituals, with the bread and this and that, and music. Certain rituals takes place. That's their spirituality. That is that moneymaker, to be honest. It's that thing in the church when you go to a Christian church or a Black Christian church. There's things that's done spiritually. It's like you got the music, you got the gospel, you got the organ. Ritually, things happen, and then you have to bring around the offering, the tithe. There's things that are done on a ritual ritual way. Let's look at the definition of ritual. I mean, I'm not telling you anything new. What I'm just doing is reiterating things and trying to again create the reality so we can open up the lines of communication. Now, ritual as a noun, a religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. Spirituality, when they spur it, is a ritual, a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. The prescribed order performing a ceremony, especially one characteristic of a particular religion or church. Mention that. A series of actions, a type of behavior regularly or invariably followed by someone. As an adjective is relating to or done as a religious or solemn rite of passage. So you see that in the word spiritual, you see the word ritual. Again, spirit. Yeah? Excuse me a second. Looking at my Facebook, not too many people on here, but that's okay. Tito Puente Jr., what's going on, Papa? Right. Tito Puente Jr., peace, my brother. Again, salsa, that's our spirituality, papi. And you know also, en Ifa, you know, hijo de legua. I know. You know what I'm saying? We do things ritually. Seldom a rite of passage. That's what spirituality is. Spirit, that ritual. That's very important in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Because that's again a prescribed order. It gives an order. Now you could switch from spiritual to spiritual, again, to spur something, to stir it. All right? Inspiration, you see in the word, let me put up in. Look at this word. Inspiration, inspire. See the word spirit, inspiration, spur, inspiration. So you are spiritual. My brother here, Tito Puente Jr., a master in spiritual master also because he inspires people. He got inheritance from his father to inspire people with music, amusing you with a type of rhythm patterns. And the music, that's done ritually, that's spirituality. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful spirituality. You know? You inspire people. That's a spiritual. We're spiritual beings when you become a master, when you master the art of inspiring people. And that takes time. Hey, it takes a lot of experiences. It takes experimentation. And it takes logic. It takes reasoning. And I co-sign my brother Tito Puente Jr. because he is definitely a spiritual master when it comes to the art of music and when it comes to the art of mambo, and he inherited that from his father, and he has the experience. I know because I played many years with him. He has the experience. I've seen the experimentation that he did, and I see his line of reasoning. Blessings to you. So, again, inspiration, aspiration, to inspire people, you know what I'm saying? That's spirituality. Through oral traditions, through also applied sciences. I inspire people to play the drums, right? Because I apply science, I apply certain rhythms and play certain philosophy and rhythms and certain musical instruments to inspire people. That's spiritual. That's spirituality. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not gonna stay here too long, but just want to say I thank you for those that took the time to come out and hit the like button if you're on my YouTube or even if you're on my Facebook. Just hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. So, where we at here? So again, when things are done ritually, when you again, in musical terms, I know what I know. I seek to know what I don't know. And in terms of like in music, when you ritually a rite of passage, when you spur things up, in other words, you're squeezing out ideas that are caught in this vacuum of space, phonons. You're squeezing that out, and when you squeeze it out, and it become conscious, this consciousness hit it, then that's creativity. You get to, possibly create certain musical ideas. You know what I'm saying? That's spiritual. That's ritualistic. When we live that ritual life, and it's a rite of passage, sometimes that's passed on hereditary. Many times that's passed on hereditary, and also through, again, experience, experimentation. I can't tell you how many times I sat down and this was in the 70s. I'd say like 74, 75. I think I was like 14 years old, 13 years old. I used to sit in my living room and by the window with a conga and play a Senor Rodriguez Rumba y Guabanco. And it was a rite of passage. And again, experiencing playing the tumbao. And this was something that I did every day. And then experiment with different rhythms. You know what I'm saying? Different rhythms, and figure things out. You know what I'm saying? It takes you many years when you do that and you master the art of that, and you can inspire people. And shout out to Apostle, who came from South Carolina yesterday, brought 5 drums. Yeah, 3. Those Matador conga drums are so heavy, man. Those suckers are heavy. Wood and fiberglass and wood. That sucker are heavy. I had to carry that around. But I tuned it up for him, and we started playing. And beautiful brother, Apostle. We're gonna have more conversation. I also want to do an interview with him because I think we could do an interview with him. You know what I'm saying? I only don't want to interview professional musicians. I also want to interview people that inspire themselves to want to play instruments. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, we can share something, for them, beneficial. But anyway, so spiritual. So true culture, Maa'gic is spiritual. It's a rite of passage. It's ritualistic. You know what I'm saying? It's a prescribed order. It's the reason why I went from the Earth Energy Center and I kept going up. And now we in the halak, the communication, the resonance, the echoing throat that we have inherited this etheric body. So when we are aware of the different centers, or like organs, your body have organs that are like centers for your system, for different systems for your body. So does your etheric body. Get to know your etheric body. And bring that closer to you, because that's going to energize. That's etheric energy. It's electrical. It's electricity. It's going to, again, give you that energy. That energy. And when we deal with communication, we deal with measurements, music is with the heart. We're going to go back into that because we're going to bring both together. And here in the halak is the communication, the resonating, and the echoing. And it also could deal with certain passages in music and measurements, because in music, remember, you got a melody, you got harmony, and you got rhythm. And rhythm is a consistent thing. And there's measurements. You got a half notes, whole note, whatever. There's a system of measurement. That's representative of, again, the deity, Thahuti. In terms of that science. But anyway, that's just my introductions. I just wanted to get on here and let you know what true culture Maa'gic. I'm going to now embark in that. Yeah, some people call it black magic, but it's black magic or vacuum magic, but it's much more than it's black, white magic, druid. It's all of that. And we can trace all of that to its origin and put it all together. We are magnetic beings. You hear me? We are Maa'gic and magnetic beings. and we cannot come disconnected. You can build the body up, and it helps to build the body up so as to help open up those channels so that those etheric energy, the electromagnetic force from the sun, can actually funnel through you and give you, inspire you, spur things up, spur it up, cook it. Anyway, and listen, all in blessings. Again, drinking some more Maa'gic. Ooh, it's so beneficial. Got the tamarind, and it's better than drinking beer. It's fermented. It gives you a nice buzz. I got a nice buzz, yeah. I admit it. Danielle Solomon, thank you also for watching. But you got to go back and check out the podcast. Again, those of you that are on my Facebook, would appreciate very much if you share and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Same thing, Silos Congas. Silos Conga is my YouTube channel. Put it over here. Silos Congas on YouTube. Okay. Now let me get out of here. Come, I got an alert, low battery on my computer here. But anyway, and I ordered some microphones, some nice microphones that I ordered. One of them is gonna be clips, one will be for podcast, the other one's gonna be for recording. So pretty soon, so my musician friend, I'm setting up my studio so that you can send me tracks and whatever, and I can put some tracks on and whatever, and a very well quality percussion. So I to offer that service, you know what I'm saying, and to expand, also broaden my experience in life, you know what I'm saying. So that's something that's in the works. Okay, definitely. I'm just waiting for these mics to come in, and I'm waiting for a board to come in. But I could use my small board for now. But I'm waiting for these mics to come in, and I'm using GarageBand, but I got I don't have Pro Tools. I got Logic, which is good. But I can use the GarageBand, and I could still send anybody WAV files, the percussion and stuff like that. So that's in the works. Okay. Well, again, all in blessings, and let's do this. Peace.